It's a beautiful Friday afternoon here in Eastern North Carolina. My wife and I are headed out to do some sourcing. We're going to hit up an estate sale, see what kind of vintage items we can find. Wish us luck. This is my lovely wife, Amy. She's the inspiration for all this. We're headed to an estate sale, or as she put it, more of a private pick, I guess. As you can see, she is very pregnant, still out here hustling. This is a mostly cash business, so it's always a quick trip to the ATM before we head out. Okay, we just got home from sourcing. That was definitely more of a private pick, not an estate sale. We were literally the only people in the house buying stuff when we were there. But we bought a truckload of stuff, spent $280 total on everything. I feel like we made out pretty well, but we're gonna go take a break, eat a sandwich, because I have not eaten lunch yet, then come back out here and see what we have. We found a lot of very cool vintage items. Can't wait to get into it. It's not all hunting for vintage treasures. I'm currently in here working on my son's room. My wife is very pregnant. She's due February 25th, so my son could literally show up any day now. I just got the room taped off and painted yesterday. Now I'm gonna pull the tape, see if there's any touch-up work that needs to be done. Hopefully not. Hopefully I did a good job. Put a ceiling fan in. There was no overhead light. We needed an overhead light in the baby's room because obviously changing diapers and all that, you need to be able to see what you're doing. Remote control ceiling fan. Put a new switch in, a flip switch. I have to build some shelving in the closet still, but we're getting there. A lot of work still to be done, so get to work, Dad. I pulled out all the stuff that we got this past Friday at the private pick my wife and I went to. We're about to start going through it, see what kind of vintage items we found, possibly some antiques, who knows. We're gonna get into it, see what we got. You see these two vintage lamps, we got each of them for $20 a piece. Should do pretty well. We'll sell these at our booth in town. She's pretty, very ornate at the base. Spiral coming up. This one's got a wooden base with a brass pole. You see here we bought an assortment of boudoir table lamps. We got this guy here. This is not an original. It's actually a reproduction, but still has some pretty good value. It's a cool lamp. We got this desk lamp, table lamp also. It's made to look kind of like an oil lamp. We got these Japanese hand-painted lusterware lamps. These are not crazy high value, but cool nonetheless. We got this lampshade, came with the lamps, floral, pineapples it looks like. This antique chair. We got this and a second chair that we've already dropped off at the place we sell in town. My wife listed the other chair for $45, I believe. Not exactly sure what we're going to do with this one. Probably sell it at the booth in town. Probably not worth $45, but we'll see. Okay, we got all of this pottery here for $50. It's Australian. The potter's name was Leonard Bell. Vase here. See on the bottom it says Leonard Bell. He also has a mark that's just a stamp that's an L and a B. See on the bottom of this picture. Cake plate. Got a ladle. Big guy here. Like I said, we got all this for $50. Here we have some religious statue figurines. It's like made in West Germany. Hummel Goebel figurines. Planter. This praying figurine statue. This is something different. It says made in West Germany, Bavaria. We got some vintage umbrellas here. We paid, I believe, $20 for all 5 of these, so $4 a piece. They have the Bakelite handles, which is very cool. Slide, yeah, there we go. Slides pretty well. See the pattern? It's a cool one. Purple. Looks like a wormwood handle, possibly. Bakelite. Also. Very cool. Like I said, we paid $20 for all 5 of these. $4 a piece. Somebody would definitely be into vintage umbrellas. We got a lot of these vintage house figurines. Some of them are marked Wade, England. Some are unmarked. Castle. It's marked Wade. We have a windmill. Sounds like a ringing bell when the windmill turns. More Wade, England. We got an assortment of these boudoir table lamps. Crystal, vintage, Art Deco style. We got 4 of these. To be very careful with these dangling crystals and these globes. Don't want to drop them and break any of them. Mountain home scene. These lamps are hand painted Japanese lusterware, I think. Not the highest sellers, but we should make some money on them. You can see the luster in the paint. Well, it's called lusterware. Definitely hand painted. They have some wear from age and use to the gold. Still cool. We'll definitely be able to sell these. This guy back here is another lamp. Comes apart like this. It's a nice shade on it. Nagoya, Japan. Made in Nagoya, Japan. Crystal dish. Guess could possibly be some sort of votive, maybe. Looks like it says William Leonard, maybe. My wife looked this up earlier. She told me it sells for around $50 on eBay. So, nice little find. We have this metal enamel flower canister. Has some wear. Vintage flower canister. Funny, the guy made us take it with the flower in it. He's like, you can buy it, but you have to take the flower and dump it out at your house. Random, but we took it, dumped out the flower. We have a cast iron flower bouquet doorstop. Has a lot of wear and some rust. Someone will want this. Vintage cast iron stuff always sells pretty easily. I'm not seeing any markings on it, but vintage cast iron flower bouquet doorstop. Some cast iron irons. Marked a 6, or I guess that could be a 9. I don't see anything else on it. Another one here, a cast iron, I guess, fire starter. Fuel in there, I guess, and dip the wand and light it. Got a handle. 3 legs, but I do not see a name. Now this guy is really interesting. This is like some sort of hanging brass lamp. There's a chicken on it. I feel like this is pretty valuable. Also a very interesting vintage piece. We got this 5-gallon C.H.R. Hanson's Laboratory butter color, cheese color, Little Falls, New York jug here. Very big. We paid $20 for this. I think we'll probably get 80 to 100 out of it. This would not be easy to ship, so most likely I'll end up selling this in town. A vintage, it's like maybe vanity footstool. It's beaded, floral. Has some wear, but very interesting vintage piece. Cool beaded floral pattern. If I had to guess, I would say that has to be close to a $100 stool. We'll do some research. We'll figure it out. 3-footed, maybe a berry plate. It's got the hole so it can drain. Floral, roses, hand painted. Stratford ware, England. We had a pretty successful weekend. Our sales were good. We sold between $800 and $900 worth of vintage items from our store. 16 total items were packed and shipped yesterday. We also found some great vintage stuff on our sourcing trips. All in all, I'm very happy with how our weekend turned out. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to get any video of the 16 items we packed and shipped yesterday. My 2-year-old daughter, Edie, was at home from daycare because our daycare lady was feeling a bit under the weather. It made things a little more challenging, but with some great teamwork, Amy and I were able to make it all happen. We got everything packed and to the post office on time. As always, you can find our store at coastalresaletherapy.com. The link will be in the description. And if you guys buy anything from us, leave us a review. It's always great to hear from you guys. Now let's get into what has to be shipped today. We sold 5 things on Monday. Isaiah in Arizona bought a vintage 1990s Tommy Hilfiger red and blue duffel bag from us. Susan in Texas bought a Santa in the Workshop felt stocking kit. And a huge thanks to Elizabeth in Tennessee, who purchased 3 items from us: a mid-century Cupid angel planter, an antique Fenton double dolphin jadeite green footed dish, and mid-century porcelain kittens with flowers figurines. Thanks so much for your support. I got all the stuff pulled right behind me. Now let's get it all boxed up and ready to ship. We got everything boxed up and ready to ship out. We made a few more sales, so my wife Amy went ahead and boxed those up as well. So now there's nothing left to do but get them to the post office. Let's do some updates on the haul from the first video. We sold 4 more items. We sold the vintage porcelain Japanese dragon figurine for $42. We sold 3 boxes of the vintage Christmas ornaments for another $75, bringing the total up on that haul to $251.99. That's 10x our money already off just 7 sales. We also sold 2 items from the $280 haul in this video. The antique Victorian footstool sold for $80, and the cream and green metal flower canister sold for $54.99, bringing the total up on this haul to $134.99. It's safe to say we had a pretty successful couple days of sourcing. Before we wrap this up, I got a question for you. Do you guys call them garage/yard sales, or do you call them tag sales? My wife is from Connecticut and they always call them tag sales, which I had never heard before. I'm from Western North Carolina and all I've ever heard is yard sales and garage sales. Leave us a comment. Let us know what you call them where you're from. And as always, you can find our store at coastalresaleTherapy.com. The link will be posted in the description. Don't forget to like and subscribe. That helps us out tremendously. And we'll see you next time.